Puppies and kittens, welcome to another episode of Reading Joseph Smith. I just got back from Houston, where we did a series of debates that was, one part shitstorm and one part clusterfuck. So that was a bucket of chuckles. Um, and I'll be doing review videos about that soon. So moving on to this, how's everybody doing? Since I haven't seen you guys in a week,
Happy Rosh
Woohoo.
Hashanah.
We're good.
Still alive.
Gazalem, what are you holding up there?
Oh, that's my facsimile of the 1830 version of the Book of Mormon.
Oh, okay, good.
Hmm.
Amber, you got any comments?
Not just the the debate was fantastic. Like
Thank you
I
for that.
get it. I get it that Jake wanted to go off on his imaginary journey or whatever, but then
And he
when
wanted to control the whole game. He wanted me to follow him down his rabbit hole of insanity. I got it, and I realized, yeah,
can you confirm my microphone is here?
Yeah, is that a microphone in front of you?
I think we've concretely proven the microphone. that wasn't the point of the debate. All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Amber. We've already got a chat in here. So Vinny K offers $25 and says, "So amazing seeing you and Matt in person last night. Can't wait for DebateCon. Wonder if the next debate will be black microphones and if they're true."
Right on cue.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing I've got to say, the way that these debates go, when these philosophizers with their syllogisms instead of evidence, if you're familiar with the Kalam cosmological argument, it kind of goes like this: anything has a cause, or anything that begins to exist, because we arbitrarily say that it begins to exist. Well, then it has a cause, which physicists don't really deal with, and the universe didn't technically exist. But okay, let's just pretend for a moment that the universe had a beginning, therefore it had a cause. Therefore, the cause had to be a magic invisible man. I mean, it had to be a personal intelligence. Magic invisible man. That's it. That's their logical conclusion. Now, what is the word for something that does not follow? Non sequitur. So so you've got false premise equals false plus a false premise, and then you get to a non sequitur. In the previous discussion that I had with the guy that I debated last night, he wanted to argue that there was such a thing as a necessary being. Well, what's a necessary being? Well, it doesn't have to be a being. So already we have a problem. It can be anything that exists, anything at all. Okay, so just bare matter then? Yeah, matter can be. So okay, if everything didn't come from nothing, if there was never nothing, then logically you would think that there should have been something at the beginning. So that would have been matter. And I knew where he was going with that. So he's going to say that dead unconscious material is his immaterial living consciousness. He then declares that, okay, I believe in a necessary being, therefore God. So dead unconscious material equals God. Last night's debate was, the logical syllogism was that if you believe in a necessary truth, that becomes God somehow, because a truth cannot be, if 2 plus 2 equals 4 is a necessary truth, then it has that truth can only exist like in a mind. I can't remember how he was phrasing what all the premises were, that it had to be a concept within a mind, and therefore there had to be a thinking mind to think of it. Except that we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4 can exist without a mind. It's not a concept within a mind. So there's that problem, and there's a number of other things wrong with it too. But basically his argument was 2 plus 2 equals God.
It checks out.
Yeah, and my problem with that was that I talked to a couple of mathematicians at some point where I was making fun of the Christians who say that if somewhere I read in the Bible that 2 plus 2 equals 5, I wouldn't question. I would believe whatever this says in the Bible just because it says it in the Bible. And so I say, well, how ridiculous is that? You got mathematic proof that it's not 5, and therefore, but then a couple of different people, separate people, chimed in to say, well, actually 2 plus 2 can equal 5, or certain values of 2, or some such bullshit. And so I said, well, somebody tells me that, and they say that it's in higher mathematics. I've never taken higher mathematics. Sounds ridiculous to me. And so all this guy and all his Muslim friends wanted to then accuse me of believing that 2 + 2 = 5. And if mathematicians said that and I didn't check it out and I didn't automatically believe them, that means, or I didn't challenge them, I didn't try to confirm it. That means I took it on authority. I took it on. No, I didn't. I'm not challenging an authority in their field. The fuck do I know? So you just believe on faith? No, I don't believe it. If somebody tells me this thing, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's wrong with it. There may well be something wrong with it. So I mean, I'm in a position where I don't necessarily believe something, but then neither am I foolish enough to challenge a mathematician in his own field. So let me go talk to another mathematician and see what they can explain about it. That's what I would do. But for me, I was not interested in listening to somebody rationalize how 2 + 2 could equal 5 any more than I was interested in listening to the guy next to me rationalize how 2 + 2 = God. They're equally absurd arguments. And they're just arguments. They were not evidence, which was the point of the whole thing. So at the end of the debate, I thought it was great that a half a dozen different people independently came up and asked him, what was the evidence? Because I missed that.
I know the whole line of people. It was so cool.
Then my opponent told me that I was stupid because I didn't understand how he gave his evidence. And then he told all of those people asking questions that they're stupid. Well, not all of them. He didn't tell the 12-year-old boy that he was stupid. But he then addressed the entire audience as a blanket statement, told the audience that they were stupid because they didn't understand his evidence. So I would think when you've turned the audience on you that badly that you're calling them as a blanket thing, that you're calling them stupid. I don't think that you always necessarily you necessarily have a winner to a debate. I think most debates don't really have a winner, but you can lose, and I think he lost. I think he definitely lost the audience. But anyways, so we're going to do a debate review on that later on. So I got a couple more comments. Let's see. Matt White says, good job in that debate. Lalandra came into the Q&A. Stop. He's already dead. Yeah. Lalandra was reading the bios and such, looking up each of the people that we're going to be debating yesterday. And she says, I don't want to even be in that room. I don't want to hang out with these people. Like, I'm not surprised. There's the one guy who advocates marrying 7-year-old children, who says age is just a number in the wrongest possible way. Then you've got the other guy who converted the empathetic atheist, which he would love to brag about had it not been that the empathetic atheist, once he became Muslim, his marriage collapsed and then he was arrested and imprisoned for child molestation. So probably not the guy you want to brag about converting. And then there was the other guy who video has just surfaced where he was threatening a black man that he was going to take his belt off and whip him with it after the black man stepped in to tell him not to be abusive to these women behind the counter. And this guy had already been shot at by a former wife for being abusive and has been arrested multiple times for abusing women. These are the people who are debating.
They're the very best Islamic apologism has to offer. But the real question is, did you stick around for the dinner or did you go to the Wendy's?
I don't remember. It was like 10:30 or something, 11 o'clock at night. And I knew I had to get back here.
Roller skating. I saw that video.
That was the previous night. When I got here, Will Judy said, "Hey, if you're going to be in town, come with me. We'll go to my favorite blues club," which that was really nice. He had there's a cigar area, and he brought out really fine cigars. So I've got really good blues music, live music, and I'm smoking fine cigars with Will, and that was a good time. I appreciated that. Enough about my weekend. So, and we have another comment. The Raven 200 offers $10 and says, "And it came to pass that I, Raven, did spake unto thee. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, oh wait, that's the duck song." Okay. Well, I can say that the Raven 200 offered $10 to say that. So thank you.
Thanks, Raven.
Yay!
All right, so Bryce, you want to give us a heads up on this this episode, this chapter?
Yeah, we're beginning the saga of Moroni. Moroni the
Woo!
Great, Moroni the Terrible, whatever you want to call him. This is Captain Moroni, somebody who is venerated in Mormon tradition, and people dress up like this guy to go storm the Capitol on January 6th. So this is a guy we got to pay attention to him because he has all the attributes that young women's activities fill out their little worksheets saying, "This is what I look for in a husband." So here we go. Let's talk about the Mormon warlord.
The
Excellent.
war chapters.
And this is a mystery. I have no idea what the answer might be, but who's
Me.
reading today? Thank you, Tomer. Take it away.
We have an invader coming in.
Okay, I'll start. And it came to pass that they did stop and withdrew a pace from them. And Moroni said unto Zerahemna, Behold, Zerahemna, that we do not desire to be men of blood. Ye know that ye are in our hands, yet we do not desire to slay you. Behold, we have not come out to battle against you that we might shed your blood for power. Neither do we desire to bring anyone to the yoke of bondage. But this is the very cause for which ye have come against us. Yeah, and ye are
Yay!
angry with us because of our religion. But now ye behold
It's
that
not the
Lord...
fact that they just killed all of his troops. No. It's because they believe in the one true religion that he doesn't like them.
They're so persecuted.
That's
Oh,
right.
Peter, you missed the came to pass there in verse 1. Thank you.
What?
But now ye behold that the Lord is with us, and ye behold that he has delivered you into our hands. And now I would that ye should understand that this is done unto us because of our religion and our faith in Christ. And now ye see that ye cannot destroy this our faith. Ye cannot destroy this our faith. Okay.
You cannot destroy this, our
Our
faith.
fate.
Now ye see that this is the true faith of God. Yeah, ye see
Yay!
that God will support and keep and preserve us so long as we are faithful unto him and unto our faith and our religion. And never will the Lord suffer that we shall be destroyed except we should fall into transgression and deny our faith. And now,
Spoiler alert.
little light foreshadowing there.
And now, Zerahemna, I command you in the name of that all-powerful God who has strengthened our arms that we have gained power over you by our faith, by our religion, and by our rites of worship, and by our church, and by the sacred support which we owe to our wives and our children, by that liberty which binds us to our lands and our country. Yeah.
Yay!
Also by the maintenance of the sacred word of God, to which we owe all our happiness, and by all that is most dear unto us. Dash. Yeah, and this is not
Yay!
all. I command you by all the desires which ye have for life, that ye deliver up your weapons of war unto us, and we will seek not your blood, but we will spare your lives, if ye will go your way and come not again to war against us. And now, if ye do not this, what?
English is hard.
Yeah. And now, if ye do not this, behold, ye are in our hands, and I will command my men that they shall fall upon you, and inflict the wounds of death in your bodies, that ye may
A
become
mortal
Oh.
wound.
I'll inflict the wounds of death in your bodies.
Your body. Cool.
A 9-year-old wrote this.
It's the translation.
And then we will see who shall have power over these people. Yeah, we will see who
Yay!
shall be brought into bondage. And now it came to pass that when Zerahemna had heard these sayings, he came forth and delivered up his sword and his scimitar and his bow into the hands of Moroni, and said unto him, Behold, here are our weapons of war. We will deliver them up unto you, but we will not suffer ourselves to take an oath unto you, which we know that we shall break, and also our children.
Honest enough.
I
I'm
know,
sorry.
being
It's
honest.
just like we're not gonna make an oath because we know we're really bad at keeping promises. Like at least these Zarahemnites are honest. I appreciate that.
But take
Wait,
our
but
weapons
isn't
of...
this that's an indigenous stereotype.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, we're gonna get some more here.
I believe the phrase that used to be used, it was called Indian giving.
Oh,
Sam.
Which is ironic since it was, the colonial and then later United States government that tended to take back the things they said they would give.
Jimmy, that's a nice mic, but I don't think it's working.
Well, fuck me. What do you hear then when I talk?
I think the
You sound
the mic on your
very
camera.
distant.
I think the mic on your camera because it sounds like you're
There
in
is
a
no mic
well.
on my camera.
You
No, I
can't
am in
prove
a
the
well.
mic exists.
I am in a well. That part's true.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
fair enough.
that was better when you
Oh.
tilted it forward. It sounded better.
How's this? Is it clearly the mic if I like make out with it?
Now that's better.
ASMR time.
Nope.
Can you hear
I'll
me
keep my
whisper?
headphones in for that.
Almost.
So it is this mic. If you heard me whisper, I think that means something's just fucked up. I gotta figure it out.
I'll continue. But take our weapons of war and suffer that we may depart into the wilderness. Otherwise, we will retain our swords, and we will perish or conquer. Behold, we are not of your faith. We do not believe that it is God that has delivered us into your hands, but we believe that it is you. But we believe that it is your cunning that has preserved you from our swords.
Or it could be, the armor. You probably has something to do with the armor as well.
Details.
All right.
I blame the
Skins.
narrator.
Have I accomplished any improvement, or does it just sound like a big loud room?
That sounds
No,
good.
it sound good.
It's
No, that's better. Yeah.
Tight.
Behold, it is your breastplates and your shields that have preserved
No, I'm
you.
sorry. Well, the text said it. Never mind.
It was just so obvious. They
Like a Marvel comic.
And now when Zerahemna had made an end of speaking these words, Moroni returned the sword and the weapons of war which he had received unto Zerahemna, saying, Behold, we will end the conflict. Now, I cannot recall the words which I have spoken.
awesome.
I've been there.
Therefore, as the Lord liveth, ye shall not depart except ye depart with an oath that ye will not return again against us to war. Now, as ye are in our hands, we will spill your blood upon the ground, or ye shall submit to the conditions which I have proposed. And now, when Moroni had said these words, Zerahemna retained his sword, and he was angry with Moroni, and he rushed forward that he might slay Moroni. But as he raised his sword, behold, one of Moroni's soldiers smote it even to the earth, and it broke by the hilt.
Well, that's just shoddy workmanship.
That's Lamanites for you.
Oh, wait.
And he also smote Zerahemna, that he took off his scalp, and it fell to the earth. Oh,
Exactly.
no.
Yep, exactly.
Oh no.
So bad.
And Zerahemna withdrew from before them into the midst of his soldiers.
Yep. All right. Just to recap, Zarahemna just got scalped and he's like, owie! And ran back to his soldiers.
Peter, there is another came to pass that you missed in verse 8.
This is literally like a freaking cartoon.
It is. And I love how it's like we get like the word by word dialogue that's going on here, and then and then Zarahemna gets up and he's so mad and he tries to. It's just like it's so easily fiction. It's so clearly just like in a 10-year-old's mind.
And it came to pass.
But there's swords and
Nice.
things.
Yeah.
Bows and scimitars.
And it came to pass that the soldier who stood by, who smote off the scalp of Zerahemna, took up the scalp from off the ground by the hair, and laid it upon the point of his sword, and stretched it forth unto them, saying unto them with a loud voice, Even as this scalp has fallen to the earth, which is the scalp of your chief, so shall ye fall to the earth, except ye will deliver up your weapons of war and depart with a covenant of peace. Now there were many, when they heard these words and saw the scalp which was upon the sword, that were struck with fear. And many came forth and threw down their weapons of war at the feet of Moroni, and entered into a covenant of peace. And as many as entered into a covenant, they suffered to depart into the wilderness. Now it came to pass.
I'm just glad we've proved that these people are Native Americans.
Very convincing.
Yeah.
Now it came to pass that sorry, I had to drink some water. That Zerahemna was exceedingly wroth, and he did stir up the remainder of his soldiers to anger, to contend more powerfully against the Nephites. And now Moroni was angry because of the stubbornness of the Lamanites. Therefore, he commanded his people that they should fall upon them and slay them. And it came to pass that they began to slay them. Yeah, and the Lamanites did contend with their swords and their might. But behold, their naked skins and their bare heads were exposed to the sharp swords of the Nephites. Yeah.
Oh, it's so sharp.
Yeah.
You could hurt someone with that.
Behold, they were pierced and smitten. Yeah. And did fall exceedingly fast before the swords of the Nephites, and they began to be swept down, even as the soldier of Moroni had prophesied. Now,
There you go.
Oh, it was a prophecy.
The
That's
will
cool.
of God that shields and armor work.
Now Zerahemna, when he saw that they were all about to be destroyed, cried mightily unto Moroni.
My
promising
head
that-
still hurts. That scalping was not nice.
Ouchie!
It stings.
Promising that he would covenant. What? Promising that he would covenant and also his people with them, if they would spare the remainder of their lives, that they never would come to war against them. Never would come to war again against them. Yeah. And it came to pass that Moroni caused that the work of death should cease again among the people. And he took the weapons of war from the Lamanites. And after they had entered into a covenant with him of peace, they were suffered to depart into the wilderness. Now, the number of their dead was not numbered because of the greatness of the number.
Oh, big number.
Yeah,
Lots
it
of
was
numbers.
Aleph Null.
The
It
best
was
numbers.
Aleph Null numbers. Yeah. Yeah. The number
Yay.
of the dead was exceedingly great, both on the Nephites and on the Lamanites. And it came to pass that they did cast their dead into the waters of Sidon, and they have gone forth and are buried in the depths of the sea. And the armies of the Nephites or of Moroni returned and came to their houses and their lands. And thus ended the 18th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. And thus ended the record of Alma, which was written upon the plates of Nephi, except we have like 18 chapters left.
I know what?
Details.
We still have 2 more Nephis to get through in this book too.
So
Yeah.
the funeral arrangements for thousands of people is
Chuck
to
'em in
chuck
the
their
river.
bodies into the river.
Drown them in the
And-
river.
Do you have crocodiles already? Because I mean, do you want crocodiles? Because that's how you get crocodiles.
Yeah. This was also a pretty short year, right? Like the year started with the army marching on the land of the Nephites. And then they went and confronted them, and the army ran away, and then they circled around and they met here in battle, and then the battle's over. And that was the year, I guess.
The whole year?
Okay, well that was the year it was. I'm going to read a couple more comments. I saw that one that wasn't selected, but Ryan Murphy says, Aaron Rock, great job for your debate and for standing for Matt against that POS. Rah, rah, rah. Thank you very much for that. And then let's see, which one was one of the selected comments. James Enright, NZ, offers $5 and says, Tomer is the Reformed Egyptian scholar we need. Dash.
Exactly. That is important. Yeah.
And welcome, Jimmy. We saw a little bit of your critique of the debate, and I very much appreciate the little bit that I saw.
Yeah, that was a fucking garbage heap. Like watching a UFC fighter fight a 9-year-old right before Daniel tries to marry them.
Right.
Thank you for that. I am very much looking forward to tomorrow, where I will be on Skep Talk with Mubarak, who was on my panel for An Infidel Reads the Quran. So he watched the debate also. He's an ex-Muslim Arabic speaker, and so I wanted to get his opinion on it. So he said he would check that out and come to talk to me about that tomorrow. So look for us on Skep Talk for that.
Sweet.
And of course, it's a call-in show, so call in with your questions or challenges or whatever the fuck.
That would be tight. Send us your theist. Send us your huddled assholes.
Yeah. Tell your friends and pastors and things. Otherwise, one of us will have to. What?
I could have just said huddled asses. That's way better.
Hindsight. But yeah, we don't want people having to call in and ask what color the microphone is. That would be no fun.
That was established. Isaac Raskin. Hi, Isaac.
Do you dye your microphone like a kid? How old are you? That was one of the things Daniel attacked Arn for, dyeing his hair.
Yeah, because he had to insult everybody as much as he could. And the shitty thing was that if he ever pissed anybody off, when the audience booed him, you see this weird grin, because that was obviously his goal.
It's like
yeah, it's like
Masochism.
that was what he meant to do, was to piss everybody off until they start jeering him.
Nobody noticed that my
cheering.
beard sucks. His beard is fucking awful. He biologically has the beard that Amish people choose to have, but more pubes.
Oof. Big oof. But you'll remember the last time you took on Daniel, he went out of his way. He took a freaking cartoon from some futurist website about babies growing in pods and said, see, I predicted the pod people. The silly atheist didn't know what he was talking about. And he's using a fucking cartoon of shit that doesn't exist to prove it. I think he goes to these debates with a script of shit that he can clip later to make fake videos out of.
At least it wasn't a cartoon of Mohammed.
Yeah, when he accused secular humanism of being militant terrorists responsible for the invasion of Afghanistan. Secular humanists, by name, George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush. Yeah. Secular humanists.
Sure.
Hey, they wrote our Bibles. The secular humanist.
I didn't read Isaac's
strategery is going to be Jesus Christ.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be pretty.
I read Isaac's name, but I read Isaac's name, but got interrupted. Didn't read the comment. So Isaac Fraskin, hi Isaac, says, "How come we haven't found any of the Lamanite dead? I thought plastic lasts a long time." All right, Tomer, are we moving on to 45?
Yes.
Let's
Do
do
you want
it.
me to continue or do you?
Oh, it's 21
you're right.
for me. Chapter 21.
Okay, I will read it then.
Behold. With
Now,
the
you
introduction.
want me to read the beginning paragraph? Okay. Hell, a man.
No, above it.
Above it. Well, why?
There's more?
The account of the
so there
people
is.
of Nephi
Just
and their wars and dissensions in the days of Hell, a man, according to the record of Hell, a man, which he kept in his days.
I feel someone should just at least one time say, Mormons pronounce it Helaman, but
So shouldn't this be the book of Helaman then? Like, we're done with Alma's record. This is Helaman's record.
You got to have that transition period. There's a little A little bit of they're gonna kind of duo act together. A little bit of did you ever see the "We Are the World" video where you have a singer and then the singer sings with another singer and then the new singer takes over solo line? It's the exact same thing. In fact, Joseph Smith wrote "We Are the World" and Michael Jackson
Sure.
stole it.
That makes sense.
Before I go any further, God's servant offers $2 and said, "Always enjoy being here, friend." Acts 2:38. Somebody else look that
No,
up
this
and
is,
tell me how that's relevant.
This is Alma chapter 45. Sorry, you were mistaken.
Oh,
about
gotcha.
servant.
Gotcha. So, beginning the reading. Behold, now it came to pass that the people of
Ooh, now it
Nephi
came.
were exceedingly rejoiced because the Lord had again delivered them out of the hands of their enemies. Therefore, they gave thanks to the Lord their God. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
And they did fast much and pray much.
The hell kind of celebration is that?
Welcome
And they
to
did
our
worship,
banquet.
and they did worship God with exceedingly great joy. And it
Woohoo.
came to pass in the 19th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi that Alma came unto his son, hell of a man, and said unto him, "Believest thou the words which I spake unto thee concerning those records which have been kept?" The 45, the 33 and the thirds. That's quality vinyl there. And hell of a man said unto him, "Yeah, I believe."
Yay.
Yeah.
And Alma said again, "Believest thou in Jesus Christ who shall come?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll believe any damn thing
Yay.
you say."
It
Well, that's
basically
kind of
says
what it
that.
actually says
Yeah,
there.
it says that.
And Alma said unto him again, "Will ye keep my commandments?"
Wait,
All except the one
they're
about bending
Alma's
over.
commandments?
Yeah,
They're-
my
they're-
commandments.
They're not
Oh,
God. They're not gods. They're
little
not.
Gaudian slip right there.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I will
Yay.
keep thy
Good.
commandments with all my heart." Then Alma said unto him, "Blessed art thou, and the Lord shall prosper thee in this land. But behold, I have somewhat to prophesy unto thee. But what I prophesy unto thee, ye shall not make known. Yea,
Yay.
what I prophesy unto
Yeah.
thee shall not be made known even until the prophecy is fulfilled. Because what good is a prophecy if you know what was going to happen before it happens? You have to say that it was fulfilled after it happened and say, "I knew that was going to happen." That's
Yeah,
the way
just
that
like
works.
Daniel did.
Exactly. Therefore, write the words which I shall say. And these
Later.
You're really, really gonna want to remember this. Write down what I'm about.
and these are the words.
They sure are.
Behold, I perceive that this very people, the Nephites, according to the spirit of revelation, which is in me, in 400 years from the time that Jesus Christ shall manifest himself unto them, shall dwindle in unbelief.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Alright.
love that,
Yay.
Aaron.
Look, I'm just trying to tease apart the evidence that we have and try and understand the authorship methods that we have. Because just a second ago in the previous chapter, we were all about Moroni and his exploits as a military leader. And then now we get chapters 45 through 62 just pick up on hell of man. And we haven't heard anything about hell of man in like 5 chapters. And then it's like, oh, by the way, these people are going to dwindle in unbelief for 400 years. It's like the author just received the end of the book. They just received the Book of Moroni, and they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna put a little foreshadowing in right here," as they were pasting in this huge section that we're about to read. That is basically the rest of the Book of Alma. I'm just speculating based on what is available in the evidence, and it's like, this text is a single cohesive text. So anytime that they're foreshadowing something that comes up later in the text, it's like, why is that coming in now? Why is that information available to us at this point? And what other shifts in the text do we see that coincide with that prophecy, that bit of foreshadowing? And I don't know, there's just some textual weirdness going on right here, and I just want to flag it for anyone who is a Book of Mormon scholar. That is not me, because I fucking hate this book.
Can I actually
That is
attempt to
curious.
modify some of the? Could I reread verses 3 through 8, but updated for modern day, like millennials and Gen Z?
Please,
All right,
please.
Eat
verse
it.
let's hear it.
3. And Helaman was like, "Yeah, bet." And Alma was like, "Smoke weed," and he was like,
Medi?
"Yeah, bet all that, bro, all of it."
Facts.
And Alma was like, "But commandments, no homo." And then he was all like, "Yeah, but whatever, bet, sure, bro, on fleek." And then Alma was like, "Yeah, that's it."
Gucci.
Yeah,
Okay.
word.
I feel
I
like
got
the
another
whole
comment.
joke was done after "Yeah, bet," and then I had 5 more verses to go.
Then the Raven 200 offers $10 and says, "It's so nice listening to the totally accurate and not at all bullcrap history of my ancestors. So lovely. Jimmy, go take a Steiner screwdriver on concrete, then get locked in a triangle chokehold."
I already did it. That's how
That
I started my
sounds
day.
hot.
So, catch up, bro.
Very
little,
nice.
too
Very
late.
nice.
Very good. All right. Shall I continue? Which verse was I
11.
on here?
11.
11. Yeah. And then
Yay.
they shall see wars and pestilence. Yeah.
Yay.
Famines and bloodshed, even until the people of Nephi shall become
Oh, joy.
extinct.
Well done.
Foreshadowing.
Fun.
And they
Can
say
we-
we
Yeah.
atheists are nihilists.
Can we change all uses of yay to bet? Or yeah?
I have more fun with yay. Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yay.
And this because they shall dwindle in unbelief and fall into the works of darkness and lasciviousness and all manner of iniquities. Yeah, I say unto
Yay.
you that because they shall sin so great, light and knowledge, yea, I say unto
Yay.
you that from that day, even from the 4th generation, shall all pass away before this great
Shall
iniquity
not.
shall come.
Not,
Shall
will
not
pass
pass
away.
away. Not
Yeah.
all. Oh, not all of them.
Oh,
They're
well, then
extinct, sort
it
of.
doesn't count as a genocide if there's survivors.
Yep, yeah. And when the day cometh, behold, the time very soon cometh that those who are now, or in the seed of those who are numbered among the people of Nephi, shall no more be numbered among the people of Nephi. Because that made sense.
It sounds like a great day.
But whosoever remaineth and is not destroyed in that great and dreadful day shall be numbered among the Lamanites, and shall become like unto them, all save it be for a few, who shall be called the disciples of the Lord. And them shall the Lamanites pursue even until they have become extinct. And now, because of iniquity, this prophecy shall be fulfilled.
So
And now,
You got it, Alma.
just to be clear, this prophecy which comes to him through the Holy Spirit from God Almighty is that God is not going to protect their civilization. They are doomed. They're gone in just 400 years.
there's just a few people that are following the Lord, and they'll all be blighted out.
More specifically, all of the dark skinned ones are going to kill all the light skinned ones. That's specifically like the hinge point that we're resting on right here. All the Lamanites will kill all of the Nephites, and the Nephites are like the more righteous.
Is this
and light
illustrated
kind.
later on, or was that already clarified?
Oh no, this will become something. I mean, this is a huge foreshadowing passage. Like I said, I think when Joe was writing this, he just received the Book of Moroni or the Book of Ether or something, and was like, "Oh, not the Book of Ether, the Book of 4th Nephi or something." It was like, "Oh, I'm going to foreshadow this," and here it is, right? So this is just a huge block of foreshadowing for the end of the book.
I hate to bring
Okay.
everybody back to it because the joke only went so, but is no one else obsessed with verses 3 through 8 and how strange it looks and how divergent it is from the usual ways that it presents two people talking to each other, and mostly how it's written like Men at Work lyrics? They came
Clearly.
from Zarahemla. That was pretty good.
Joseph Smith was a time traveler. First We Are the World, now Men at Work. He's listening to the hits of the 80s.
Have I made that joke before? I don't think so. They
I don't
came
think you
from
have.
Zarahemla. Anyway, it is truly weird looking. No one else
It
sees
is.
it and is like, the fuck?
Well, no, I see when I read it, I realized this doesn't really match the rest of the book.
I feel like he was being bitten by a snake at the same time. Super odd.
And now it came to pass that after Alma had said these things to Hell of a Man, he blessed him and also his other sons, not so much of a man and kind of a punk ass bitch. And he also blessed the earth for the righteous sake. Because the earth is going to be fed the righteous, apparently, because all of God's people are going to be buried in it soon.
Sure.
And he said, "Thus saith the Lord God, cursed shall the land, yea, this land, unto every cursed shall be the land, yea, this land, unto every nation, kindred, tongue, and people, unto destruction." Which
this is a hell of a blessing to go with their hell of a celebration.
Indeed, when they are fully ripe. As I have said it, so shall it be. For this is the cursing and the blessing of God upon the land. For the Lord cannot look upon sin with the least degree of allowance.
And I also want to acknowledge the context in which this is written. Like, if you are reading this, especially that last bit there, in the context of 19th century white European American settlers trying to justify the genocide of Native Americans, passages like that are what do it. It's like, no, it was God's will that the whites exterminate the red-skinned Native Americans, the dark-skinned Native Americans, because this is what God wanted. God cursed this land for the Lamanites and blessed the white-skinned Nephites. This is Joseph, or the author of the text, wrestling with the white guilt of the 19th century that was because of genocide.
Isn't God a convenient tool for all military campaigns that believe in him?
Yeah.
He's on everybody's side.
Yeah. And now, when Alma had said these words, he blessed the church. Yeah. All those who should stand fast in the faith from that time henceforth. And when Alma had done this, he departed out of the land of Zarahemla, as if to go into the land of Melech. And it came to pass that he was never heard of more. As to his death or burial, we know not.
Just like Moses.
Just you wait. You're reading ahead.
Behold, this we know, that he was a righteous man, that the saying went abroad in the church that he was taken up by the Spirit or buried in the land of the Lord, even as Moses. But behold,
Who's the true prophet? Who's the true prophet?
Tomer's the prophet. He saw this shit coming.
Alma, Moses 2.0.
I have been revealed by the Lord to tell you these
Proof
But
of
things.
behold,
reincarnation.
the scriptures saith that the Lord took Moses unto himself.
Oh, right.
And we suppose that he has also received Alma in the Spirit unto himself. Therefore, for this cause, we know nothing concerning his death and burial.
Well, we do know that Moses died, but we don't know where he was buried.
And buried himself, apparently, while he was writing his obituary.
Or,
Yes. He
or
was
God.
talented.
It depends on who you ask.
And now it came to pass then, and now then it came to pass in the commencement of the 19th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi, that hell of a man went forth among the people to declare the word unto them. Bird is the word. Never mind, sorry.
Yeah, he gave them all the bird.
Bird.
For behold, because of their wars with the Lamanites and the many little dissensions and disturbances which had been among his people, it had become expedient that the word of God should be declared among them.
Who?
Yeah,
Yay!
and that a regulation should be made throughout the church. Therefore,
Regulation. Boo.
Hell of a Man and his brethren went forth to establish the church again in all the land. Yeah, in every
Yay.
city throughout the land which was possessed by the people of Nephi. And it came to pass that they did appoint priests and teachers throughout the land over all the churches. And now it came to pass that after Hell of a Man and his brethren had appointed priests and teachers over them, the churches, that there arose a dissension among them, and they would not give heed to the words of Hell of a Man and his brethren.
Oh, disrespectful.
You start a church
They
and then you can
grew-
only hang on to it for so long. Ain't that right, Joe?
But they grew proud, lifted up in their hearts because of their exceedingly greater riches. Therefore they grew rich in their own eyes, and would not heed their words to walk uprightly before God. Thus endeth Alma 45.
Really? I'm just
Yeah.
still going for me.
you
have-
a paragraph.
oh, right,
Wonderful.
right.
Jason Lee, Jason Lee offers $5 Australian. Says, Aaron, I don't often agree with you politically, but I love your humor, so I can't help but like you. Well, thank you very much. Majestic P. Beck offers $10
Majestic.
Canadian. And says, Lamanites, Moroni, Seeing Stones, so pathetic.
Hey, one person's
Indeed.
pathetic is another person's fascinating.
True.
Okay.
And
time
somebody's
for-
cash cow, apparently, at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up. We're just trying to bang multiple teenagers. Fuck off, bro. It's not your
Daniel
business.
understands.
No, that's too
No,
old.
he doesn't.
Too old
That's
for
true.
Daniel. Too old. 14,
You have to
way
be-
too
you
much
have to
grass on the
be-
field.
Under this line.
Okay.
And don't
jump-
forget the appropriate response to Matt saying that Muhammad is a pedo is that Matt should be executed. That came up. In an
Yeah.
Islamic state, I think was his
was.
clarification that would be perfectly justified. And we need to keep secular humanists from having influence on international law and other local cultures because that would prevent a state from killing Matt for doing that exact thing.
Because
Mhm.
secular humanists are militant terrorists who impose freedom and equality. And he said it was educational rape to
Yes.
teach children
Dude,
he said it was educational rape to teach children only what can be scientifically proven.
right. And the idea was that it was against their will or against their consent. And I was so waiting for Matt. I told him this when he started just yelling over and over. Matt believes in educational rape. Matt supports educational rape. I was waiting for him to say, and Daniel just likes old fashioned rape. He's like he likes rape classic, new rape. Fucking that and I don't want to like shit on your friends over there, bud, but he at the beginning the moderator said if things get too out of hand we would switch to where they would have timed responses and one mic active at a time. Aaron, what the fuck more could have happened to get out of hand enough for the guy literally threatened to like hit Matt. He did the like come say that to my face thing.
Yep.
And then acted like a little bitch when Matt was like, okay, I'll come over and say it to your face. And then was like, okay, now do something. It's like, oh, got it. So you're you're actually a little bitch and you're hoping that you can call this whatever fucking persecution. Anyway, that whole debate and channel is a hot mess, and I'm looking forward to the line launching more responsibly platformed or at least framed debates with production quality that fucking what were the key lights? Were they fucking flashlights? Do they have to shake them up first? Christ.
People were wondering why I had sunglasses on, and it's because they had when I sat down at the table, everything was fine, and then they turned on these LED stage lights
Yeah, but two
right in
little
my
ones.
face.
Two little ones
there's
like
a-
lasers.
Never gonna go out.
It's like
Yeah,
one
they
for
were
this
like-
eye and one for this eye. I'm like, holy fuck, I can't even see my screen now.
Yeah, they
So
were
I
like
had to wear the
spotlights in a
sunglasses.
can.
Yes, that there's LED lamps right in my face, so that's why I had the sunglasses on. And then people, of course, are making fun of me in the comments because he's so cool. He wears sunglasses in a dark room. Dickhead, lights
Better
in my
always wear
face.
sunglasses. Don't go without your sunglasses.
Wait. You don't need to fight back against that, though. You are cool enough to do that. You're right.
Thank you.
That is why Aaron's cool as fuck. He can wear sunglasses wherever he wants, like when he's banging your
Anytime.
mom.
All right, Tomer, why are you not reading? You see where we
I don't
divulge?
know. I really don't know why I am not reading.
Hey, could you
That
stay a
is
little bit
pretty
more
sick.
on topic there, Tomer, please?
Yeah, sure.
You can keep on subject.
We got a time
Yeah,
limit here, Tomer.
Yeah, of
Christ.
course. Yeah.
We don't have all day.
Yeah. And it came to pass that as many would not hearken to the words of Hell, man, and his brethren were gathered together against their brethren. And now behold, they were exceedingly wroth, insomuch that they were determined to slay them. Now the leader of those who were wroth against their brethren was a large and a strong man. And his name was Amalek. What the fuck is this? Amalekia.
I'm a liquor.
I'm a lick ya.
Hi.
I'm a lick ya.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. I think this was deliberate. It has
yeah.
to be deliberate.
Assalamu alaikum.
The answer
Watch
for all
out,
the
I'm a lick ya.
ex-Mormons in the audience, Amalekiah. But yes, Amalekia is way better.
I'm gonna lick you.
I'm a lick ya. Just warning you. I'm a lick
I
ya.
didn't even know what he was trying to say until Bryce just. I just assumed there was gibberish in there.
I have a
And
comment from Sable
sorry.
Eagle. Says, obviously, Aaron should have worn mirrored sunglasses and reflected those lights back into the camera. Well, that would have been a bucket of chuckles, wouldn't it? All right, thank you for that. Go ahead, Tomer.
And Amalekia, I'm going to stick with his name. And Amalekia was desirous to be a king, and those people who were wroth were also desirous that he should be the king. And they were the greater part of them, the lower judges of the land, and they were seeking for power.
Those
And
goddamn
politicians?
circuit justices trying
After
to usurp
power?
the Supreme Court. God damn it.
What?
And they had been led by the flatteries of Amalekia.
Flatteries of licking.
And that if they would support him and establish him to be the king, that he would make them rulers over the people. Thus, they were led away by Amalekia to dissensions, notwithstanding the preachings of Hell, man, and his brethren. Yeah, notwithstanding their exceedingly great care over the church, for they were high priests over the church. And there were many in the church who believed in the flattering words of Amalekia. Therefore, they dissented even from the church. And thus were the affairs of the people of Nephi exceedingly precarious and dangerous, notwithstanding the great victory which they had had over the Lamanites, and the great rejoicing which they had had because of their deliverance by the hand of the Lord. Thus, we see how quick the children of men do forget the Lord their God. Yeah, how quick to do iniquity
Yeah.
and to be led away by the evil one.
The evil one.
Yeah, and we also see the great wickedness the great wickedness one very wicked man can cause to take place among the children of men. Yeah, we see that Amalekia,
Yep.
because he was a man of cunning device, I bet he is, and a man of many flattering words, that he led away the hearts of many people to do wickedly. Yeah, and to seek to destroy the church of God, and to destroy the foundation of liberty which God had granted unto them, or which blessing God had sent upon the face of the land for the righteous sake. And now it came to pass that when Moroni, who was the chief commander of the armies of the Nephites, had heard of these dissensions, he was angry with Amalekia. And it came to pass that he rent his coat. What?
He's
Oh,
Superman.
I was
He
was thinking
so mad.
I was thinking like, oh, he rented his coat because he needed a coat. and he took a piece thereof and wrote upon it, dash, in memory of our God, our religion and freedom and our peace, our wives and our children. Dash.
Plural. Wives, plural.
Wives, yep.
And he fastened it upon the end
All right.
of a pole.
All right, so that was like that was what happened. Okay, that was like one of the most important things in this entire book to happen. Was this guy right here, hell man, raising what Mormons call the standard of liberty. And that is the standard in memory of our God, our religion and freedom, and our peace, our wives, and our children. That is the standard of liberty. This is something that is like super iconic in Mormon traditions. And Helaman is just like the OG, like American hero, because he is this warlord. We'll find out soon. Warlord who fastened the standard of liberty to a pole and marched his stripling warriors behind him, and he didn't lose a single soldier because he was so damn righteous.
I don't want everyone to turn on me, but I think this might be made up.
Well, it's funny because the artistic representations has the flag, and they actually have Reformed Egyptian written from the character transcript on the flag. It's pretty awesome.
And how did you verify that it is actual Reformed Egyptian?
Oh, because Joseph said it was. There we go. Yeah, Gazalem has some.
I presented it to Egyptians, and none of them knew what it was. So the only option would be it would have to be a type of Egyptian that they wouldn't recognize.
Exactly.
So Skeptics and Scoundrels offers $5 and says, I wear my sunglasses inside so I can watch you weave and breathe your religious lies.
So Corey Hart is a great reference for a Canadian, but you know it ain't enough.
How did that, which was read out of a super chat, get a bigger laugh than "We came from a Zarahemla"? That's a way. I'm so mad.
Oh, so to sail in the skies and shades of gold.
Edie's references always win with the millennial crowd.
If you fucking gold.
Okay. Tomer, why are you not reading?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not reading. And he fastened on his headplate, and his breastplate, and his shield, and girded on his armor about his loins. And he took the pole, which had on the end thereof his raincoat.
Pole dancing.
Shouldn't he have taken the pole before he put the armor on his loins?
Is there a legitimate theory by anyone that some of the stuff in here is jokes? That, like, does anyone actually propose? Because some of the stuff they say is so gay. And it's not that long ago. It's not like they didn't have euphemisms in the 1800s.
No, the entire thing is a joke.
But I mean, like, when he's talking about girded up his loins and then grabbed the pole, did they say shaft? And what was that part about spitting on the tip? Like, that's...
And all of this is in a rental coat.
Yeah. Nothing's gayer than renting your clothes.
And he called it the title of liberty, by the way. And he bowed himself to the earth, and he prayed mightily unto his God for the blessings of liberty to rest upon his brethren, so long as there should a band of Christians remain to possess the land.
There you go, Christians.
Wow.
Christians now is appearing in this book.
Before Christians existed.
BC. Yeah.
There's an appropriate comment that just came in from Skeptical Brain as well, Aaron.
Yep, I will read it. Says,
are you saying there were no Christians in 73 BC? Were you there? Consider
Skeptical
this.
Brain. Skeptical Brain says the guy who stormed the Capitol while cosplaying as Captain Moroni had the title of liberty with him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He
a real American hero.
Got out his Sharpie. Like, to our wives and to our...
Now, when they says cosplaying as Captain Moroni, the OG one or the updated by the governor of Utah, was he just dressed as Trump? No one remembers that. The governor of Utah, wasn't it the governor of Utah who said that maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy, who said that he looks at Donald Trump as Captain Moroni?
Oh,
Was that a
there
governor?
was something about that.
I thought
can't
that was
remember.
Cox. I thought. Hang on. Let's see. Trump is
Majestic
Captain.
P. Beck offers $5 Californian and said, it's an inside joke for Joseph Smith. Also, Jimmy, go fuck yourself.
Close. It was Senator Mike
totally.
Lee. It was a senator.
Yeah,
Federal.
Mike
Federal
Lee.
senator.
That makes sense.
Not even
Minor
a state
details.
senator. A federal.
Mikey Lee, yeah, you know me.
Oh, Mike Lee.
Oh.
Please don't.
He's never heard it like that before.
Oh. Okay, I'll continue. For thus were all the true believers of Christ who belong to the Church
Who?
of God, called by called by those who did not belong to the church. And those who did belong to the church were faithful. Yeah. All those who were
Yay.
true believers in Christ took upon them gladly the name of Christ, or Christians, as they were
Wow.
called. Because of their
Christians
belief in
before
Christ who
Christians.
should come. No shit. I didn't think that they connect the name Christians and Christ. Thank you for making it so clear to me now.
You got to spell it out.
Yeah. For a second, I was thinking, oh, they were speaking about Muhammad. I don't know.
Wait, isn't
I
this
hope they start
isn't this-
talking about Christmas.
isn't this after Alma had already referenced the Church of Jesus Christ though? Is that ahead or before?
I
Yeah,
don't
we've
think
had
we've
it
said
been.
that one yet.
Well, it's been the Church of Christ.
Oh, I thought it was
Wait.
yeah, I thought when he's telling Alma the Younger, you're out of the Church of Jesus Christ of before day saints.
Okay, so Smart Aleck Atheist offers $5 and said, I'd congratulate you on your debate, but there was no debate. You were stuck trying to get him to explain things for 2 hours. Okay, continue on.
Is that true?
And therefore, at this time, Moroni prayed that the cause of the Christians and the freedom of the land might be favored. And it came to pass that when he had poured out his soul to God, he named all the land which was south of the land of desolation. Yeah, and
Yay.
in fine, all the land, both on the north and on the south, dash, a chosen land and the land of liberty.
America! Fuck yeah! That's America in the Book of Mormon. And good old Tim Ballard writing his hypothesis books. He uses passages like this to be like, no, God totally prophesied and manifest destiny is awesome. Am I right? Because I'm a white guy.
No relation to the 12th apostle Ballard, by the way.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of that.
And he said,
Right.
Surely God shall not suffer that we who are despised because he take upon us the name of Christ shall be trodden down and destroyed until we bring it upon us by our own transgressions.
There you go.
When
Poor persecuted Christians.
And when Moroni had said these words, he went forth among the people, waving the rent part of his garment in the air, that all might see the writing which he had written upon the rent part, and crying with a loud voice, saying,
Wah.
Y'all like my underwear?
Behold, whosoever will maintain his title upon the land, let them come forth in the strength of the Lord and enter into a covenant that they will maintain the rights and the religion that the Lord God may bless them. And it came to pass that when Moroni had proclaimed these words, behold, the people came running together with their armor girded about their loins, rending their garments in token, or as a covenant, that they would not forsake the Lord their God. Or, in other words, if they should transgress the commandments of God, or fall into transgression, and be ashamed to take upon them the name of Christ, the Lord should rent them even as they had rented their garments. Now,
So
these
we
have
have
a
an entire
question.
army. We have an entire army of people in rental tuxedos.
Rental garments. Now, I do have a question about these rented garments. Did they cut the little garment symbols out before they and burn them before they made these little flags and stuff?
That's
If
the
it's
question.
not in the
right?
text, then how would we know?
I don't know. Oh, let's ask Raven. Hey, Raven, were the Lamanites Masons or not? So wait your answer.
While we wait for that, Isaac Raskin says, what are the Reformed Egyptian hieroglyphs for Christian?
It's X. Elon Musk is a prophet.
Yeah.
It's the Cairo. And this was the covenant which they made, and they cast their garments at the feet of Moroni, saying, We covenant with our God that we shall be destroyed, even as our brethren in the land northward, if we shall fall into transgression. Yeah, he may cast us at the feet of our enemies, even as we have cast our garments at thy feet to be trodden underfoot, if we shall fall into transgression. Moroni said unto them, Behold, we are a remnant of the seed of Jacob.
Oh, the remnants.
Yay.
We are a remnant of the seed of Joseph, whose coat was rent by his brethren into many pieces. Yeah, and now behold, let us remember to keep the commandments of God, or our garments shall be rent by our brethren, and we be cast into prison, or be sold, or be slain. Yeah, let us preserve our liberty as a remnant of Joseph. Yeah, let us remember the words of Jacob before his death. For behold, he saw that a part of the remnant of the coat of Joseph was preserved and had not decayed. And he said, even as this remnant of garment of my son hath been preserved, so shall a remnant of the seed of my son be preserved by the hand of God, and be taken unto himself, while the remainder of the seed of Joseph shall perish, even as the remnant of his garment.
Holy
Now
shit! Hang on,
Remnant.
Did they have a piece of the Technicolor Dreamcoat? I mean, is that what it just said, right? Let us remember the words of Jacob, right? Okay, Joseph was preserved, and he has said, even as this remnant of my son of them, so shall a remnant. Hang on, no. Where did I see that? No, did it? I'm sorry.
I bet Donny Osmond gave it to him.
Shall I continue? Okay. Now
Yes.
behold, this giveth my soul sorrow. Nevertheless, my soul hath joy in my son, because of that part of his seed which shall be taken unto God. Now behold, this was the language of Jacob. And now, who knoweth but what the remnant of the seed of Joseph, which shall perish as his garment, are those who have descended from us? Yeah, and even it shall be ourselves if we do not stand fast in the faith of Christ. And now it came to pass that when Moroni had said these words, he went forth, and also sent forth in all the parts of the land where there were dissensions, and gathered together all the people who were desirous to maintain their liberty, to stand against Amalekia and those who had dissented, who were called Amalekiahites. Amalekiites.
It's called Amalekiitis. It's really antibiotics take care of it, but like you don't really.
They make a cream for it.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like a disease. Amalekiitis. And it came to sorry, I was thinking. And it came to pass that when Amalekia saw that the people of Moroni were more numerous than the Amalekites, I can't get over this name, Amalekites. And he also saw that his people were doubtful concerning the justice of the cause in which they had undertaken. Therefore, fearing that he should not gain the point, he took those of his people who would and depart into the land of Nephi. Now Moroni thought it was not expedient that the Lamanites should have any more strength. Therefore, he thought to cut off the people of Amalekia, or to take them and bring them back, and put Amalekia to death. Yeah, for he knew that he would stir up the Lamanites to anger against them, and cause them to come to battle against them. And this he knew that Amalekia would do, that he might obtain his purposes.
There you go.
Therefore,
somebody who's a political or a religious rival, let's just put them to death. It's so much easier than allowing them to gain power. Let's just put them to death and just, cut this snake off at the head. Moroni, good guy.
Therefore, Moroni thought it was expedient that he should take his armies, who had gathered themselves together and armed themselves, and entered into a covenant to keep the peace. Dash! And it came to pass that he took his army and marched out with his tents into the wilderness to cut off the cause of Amalekia in the wilderness. And it came to pass that he did according to his desires, and marched forth into the wilderness, and headed the armies of Amalekia. And it came to pass that Amalekia fled with a small number of his men, and the remainder were delivered up into the hands of Moroni, and were taken back into the land of Zarahemla. Now, Moroni being a man who was appointed by the chief judges and the voice of the people, therefore he had power according to his will with the armies of the Nephites to establish and to exercise authority over them. And it came to pass that whomsoever of the Amalekites that would not enter into a covenant to support the cause of freedom, that they might maintain a free government, he caused to be put to death.
There we go.
There were but few who denied the covenant of freedom. And
There
it
you
came
go.
to pass.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. This guy Moroni, he's a hero of the Mormons, right? And he just put to death all of his political rivals. But at least there weren't that many of them. So at least the genocide was really, really small. So it's okay. He's still a hero in our eyes.
And
And I
It
told
was
my
only a little
generals,
genocide.
and I told my generals, go down to Zarahemla, okay, and put to death all of the people running against me. Everybody's got to go.
hey, if he kept that scalp from the previous battle, he's already got a red hat.
How much want to bet Donald Trump owns at least one scalp?
I
Yeah.
mean, if you count his toupee, yeah.
No, I didn't count
I
that.
think that toupee, to be completely fair, I think that toupee is his own hair. It absolutely is his own hair. It's all from the back and sides of his head, and it's an expert comb over, but that is his own hair.
I don't know.
What if he went away for like a couple weeks, and then he just came back completely bald with a big, like, well, you're gonna get a biker beard in a couple weeks, but a beard. I feel like
A
I'd
handlebar
respect him.
mustache.
I'd feel like I'd respect him 5% more, which still doesn't get you anywhere, but the respect
5%
is
more
so
than zero
low.
is yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I continue?
Yes, please.
I will continue. And it came to pass also that he caused the title of liberty to be hoisted upon every tower which was in all the land, which was possessed by the Nephites.
This is a military coup, right? Right, like or a religious coup, right? This guy Moroni is like, hey, I'm your new leader now. I'm the one who's teaching the one true religion, and anyone who opposes me, I'm putting them all to death. And now I just made a flag, and every single building is gonna fly that flag. This is Moroni. This is our hero. This is the hero of this book right here.
Yeah, good. And thus Moroni planted the standard of liberty among the Nephites. And they began to have peace again in the land. And thus they did maintain
Now that
peace.
all the people who were causing them not peace were dead, it was really quiet.
Wow. It's amazing.
Let your freak flag flow.
And thus they did maintain peace in the land until nearly the end of the 19th year of the reign of the judges.
And it lasted for a year? That's it? Until nearly
Almost.
the end of the year?
Almost a year.
Got almost a year of peace out of killing all of his rivals. Jesus Christ. It's like
And-
Moroni is supposed to be our hero. He's at least supposed to be good at his job, right? But like his military coup only lasted less than a year. Like, wow, I didn't realize he was so fucking incompetent too.
Wow.
It's been a while since I've read this book.
And hell, man, and the high priests did also maintain order in the church. Yeah, even for the
Yay.
space of 4 years did they have much peace and rejoicing in the church. And it came to pass that there were many who died, firmly believing that their souls were redeemed by the Lord Jesus Christ.
How's
Thus
that
they-
possible?
Because it is, shut up. Thus they went out of the world rejoicing.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm dying. Yay! say?
Oh, there's more.
Nice. And there were some who died with fevers, which at some seasons of the year were very frequent in the land. Dash.
Whoa,
But-
seasons. That's a
But
big
not
deal.
so-
Are we in Central America?
We can't be. We cannot be if we got seasons. That's true. We're in
This is
Missouri. now.
evidence of the Hopewells. It's the Hopewell natives.
But not so much as so with fevers, because of the excellent qualities of the many plants and roots which God had prepared to remove the cause of diseases, to which men were subject by the nature of the climate. Dash. But there were many who died with old age, and those who died in the faith of Christ are happy in him, as we must needs suppose.
I mean, we don't know. Wait, I suppose he's happy. I mean, he's supposed to. We can definitely say that he's supposed to be happy. Are we ready to
I mean,
jump?
if you're commanded, be happy or else.
Yeah. You saw what happened to all the amyloiditis. We're not happy with Moroni.
Are we ready to move to Alma 47?
Yes.
In case anybody was wondering, Glenn, I don't know if anyone's been paying attention to this, but Glenn Beck has deleted his tweet criticizing the church's handling of Valor.
Whoa,
He got a phone call from M. Russell. Ballard
Holy
instead of
crap.
Ballard.
I bet it was Russie himself, man. Well, no, you're not gonna get
No,
an
I
interview.
don't know. I don't think Rusty can even hold a
Lift
phone
his
up to
head.
his head. Yeah, like
Oof.
Give me just a minute. I'm going to read a couple comments. Christopher Agate gave $9.99 and says, "I love cornbread."
Cool.
Who
I do
wouldn't?
too.
Okay.
Cornbread.
Majestic P. Beck gave $5 Canadian and said, "Just laughing emojis." Okay, thank you for that. And now, beginning Alma 47. Now, we will return in our record to Amalekia and those who had fled with him into the wilderness. For behold, he had taken those who went with him and went up in the land of Nephi among the Lamanites, and did stir up the Lamanites to anger against the people of Nephi. Who's left? How many
I know,
people?
right?
I mean, it's like every chapter, and zillions of people died on both sides.
And of course there was peace because there were no people left.
And then we had a 3-day weekend of peace, and then they went and killed zillions more.
they procreate really fast.
In all
Sure
the
do.
cities that we don't have any cities, not a one.
Or
That's why
where the river Sidon went into the sea, where you would expect all of the bodies, the deposit of all of the armor and the swords and the scimitars and the bows, you would expect it to no, haven't found that either. Never mind. All right.
No.
Put Kyle on speed dial.
Yeah.
Okay. Insomuch as the king of the Lamanites sent a proclamation throughout all his land among all his people that they should gather themselves together again to go into battle against the Nephites. And they said, again?
Because Helaman was killing all of them. Of course they have to go to battle because Helaman and Moroni are killing anybody who isn't a true Christian according to their fucking standards. Of course they have to go to war now. Fuck, I hate this book.
Are we going to war again? Or are we going to war still? I mean,
Still, these are the
We did
war
have
chapters.
almost a whole year of peace.
And it came to pass that when the proclamation had gone forth among them, they were exceedingly afraid. Yeah. They feared to displease the king, and they also feared to go to battle against the Nephites, lest they should lose their lives. And it came to pass they would not, or the more part of them would not, obey the commandments of the king. And now, which actually means then, it came to pass that the king was wroth because of their disobedience. Therefore he gave Amalekia the command that part of his army which was obedient unto his commands, and commanded him that he should go forth and compel them to arms. Now, behold, this was the desire of Amalekia. Let's talk more about the desire of Amalekia. For he, being a very subtle man to do evil, Therefore, he laid the plan on his heart to dethrone the king of the Lamanites.
Ooh.
And now he had gotten the command of those parts of the Lamanites who were in favor of the king, and he sought to gain favor of those who were not obedient. Therefore, he went
Amalekia is
forward.
real persuasive.
Oh, with a name like that, absolutely would be. And he went forward to the place which was called Oneida, for thither.
Wow.
Oneida.
That's a
Thither.
real
Oneida.
place.
Oneida. It's a real fucking place.
Yeah, we've got one of
Joe's
those on I-90. Absolutely. It's a whole fucking county
Thither.
here in New York.
Well,
Thither had all the Lamanites fled, for they discovered the army coming, and supposing that they were coming to destroy them, therefore they fled to Oneida, to the place of arms. And
In
they had
fact, there's a
appointed
village
man-
called Oneida Castle in Oneida.
And they had appointed a man to be a king and a leader over them, being fixed in their minds with a determined resolution that they would not be subjected to go against the Nephites. And it came to pass that they had gathered themselves together upon the top of the mount, which was called Antipas.
You shall not pass.
is it like the anti-pass is the anti of the king to pass? Like,
Yeah.
They went to the mount, which was called Antipas, in preparation for battle. Now, it was not Amalekia's intention to give them battle according to the commandments of the king, but behold, it was his intention to gain favor with the armies of the Lamanites, that he might place himself at their head and dethrone the king and take possession of the kingdom. And behold, it came to pass that he caused his army to pitch their tents in the valley, which was
Fucking
near
gay. That's so gay.
which
It's
was
gotta
near
be
the
a
Mount
joke.
Antipas.
wait. If they came to pass in anti-pass, does that mean that there is an annihilation going on?
It sounds like we need to start subtracting passes.
So apparently Antipas is in the Bible. He was martyred during the reign of Nero.
They pitched their tents and made a pass. I'm just fucking
Oh,
saying.
And I'm like you.
Mhm.
And it came to
I
pass.
barely know you.
Buy me a drink first.
Herod Antipas. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Then, when it was night, he sent a secret embassy into the Mount Antipas, desiring that the leader of those who were upon the mount, whose name was Lehonti,
What?
he should come down to the foot of the mount, for he desired to speak with him.
The Honte is almost the most original name in here. If we didn't have the name Lehi already, Lehi, Lehonti, and Oneida,
Lehon-
like it's me prepping for a D&D campaign and making a city of NPCs. Yeah, all the names sound the same. Why my players ask? Well, because they come from the same city. That's why.
Wow, this is
Yeah,
a lot
very
of
Jewish
religious
name.
bigotry.
The persecution.
That is
And
a
it came
Spencer
to
Cox quote. That one's at least correct. Remember when the fuck you BYU happened and he wrote, I see religious bigotry is alive and well. And it was literally like, people are murdered in parts of the world because of religious bigotry, right? This is what made you see that it's alive and well? They said a cussers. They cussed. Guys, they said a cuss.
And it came to pass that when
Well,
Lehonti
fine.
received the message,
You too.
It's
He
hard with your
durst.
camera not on.
He Fred Durst.
Is my camera not on? Oh,
No.
I don't- Peter, what'd you do?
I didn't say anything because
don't
I
look
think
bad
I
today
think
either.
I think this is an improvement.
Oh no.
Peter's been too busy smashing the anti-pass counter this whole episode.
What did I
In this
do
interlude.
to deserve this?
The sinister porpoise offers $5 and says, if ancient Mesopotamians can build submarines, it's clear the ancient American Jews had superior cloning and space laser technology.
And they influenced
Very
our last
true.
election. Did you know that?
I forgot about that.
Okay,
Then
now it
Isaac
shows
Raskin.
me-
They're actually expert hackers.
Now it shows me still wearing I'm not even wearing that outfit anymore. Is that what everybody sees? Is me in a blue jacket?
Yeah, we're all seeing you at some point in the future.
No, that was from the past. I'm wearing a black hoodie now. What's wrong?
Isaac Raskin throws out a comment that says
time travel.
Matt LaHunty. Yes,
Matt
Matt
what?
LaHunty.
That guy.
So it's no longer
I don't
LaHunty,
know
it's
him.
Matt LaHunty.
Thank
Nice.
goodness we have to pay him by the letter.
And it came to pass that when Amalickia found that he could not get LaHunty to come down off the mount, he went up the mount,
Oh, fine.
nearly
Be
to
there.
LaHunty's camp.
No
Well,
one's hearing this.
fine.
I'm the only one who's hearing what you're
Phrasing.
reading.
I think Jimmy should just take over the reading for this. I mean, we're about to have a confrontation, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I have
Jimmy can take over the reading for this if you would like.
All right, I guess
I'm
someone's
down.
gonna have to tell me which chapter and verse we're in.
47. Chapter 47, verse
47.
12.
Yep.
And which
I
book?
thought you were taking notes.
Alma, right?
Alma. Yeah.
Alma 47.
It's the Book of Mormon.
I've been doing it.
Don't be a smart ass.
And which religion are we doing?
Monarchianism.
All right, Alma 47, verse what?
It's 12.
Word.
Did we finish 11? I think 11.
No, we're starting 12.
I'm sorry. My mistake. 12.
And it came to pass that when Amalickia found that he could not get Lahontai to come down off from the mount, he went up into the mount, nearly all the way to Lahontai's camp. And he sent again the fourth time his message unto Lahontai, desiring that he would come down and that he would bring his guards with him. And it came to pass that when Lahontai had come down with his guards to Amalickia, and Amalickia desired excuse me. I've been drinking a carbonated thing. Oh, you can see me now, and I'm moving. I've been having one of these. It's just carbonated water. There's no booze. Okay, now the last one.
Good to know.
And Amalickia desired him to come down with his army in the nighttime, real good and late, and surround those men in their camps over whom the king had given him command, then that he would deliver them up into Lahontai's hands. And if he would make him, parentheses, Amalickia, in case you all forgot, in parentheses. Is there parentheses in y'all's books?
Yeah.
You got it, you Bryce and Gazalem.
I've lost. It's just like words,
there are
words
parentheses
and
in
words
mine.
and words.
Oh,
Well, not in the
Sometimes-
original text, but yeah.
Sometimes Amalickia is in parentheses and sometimes it's not. And I don't understand why.
right now
I
it's-
don't have.
they want to make sure you know who him is because they've been throwing men on mounts all over the place that you might have forgotten.
That's fair.
A whole lot of
Second-
men here.
That's right. A second leader over the whole army. And it came to
Yeah,
pass that Lahontai came down with his men and surrounded the men of Amalickia. And so that before they awoke at the dawn of day, they were surrounded by the armies of Lahontai. Then their tearaway pants. And it came to pass that when they saw they were surrounded, they pled with Amalickia that he would suffer them to fall in with their brethren, that they might not be destroyed. Now, this was the very thing which Amalickia desired. And it came to pass that he delivered his men contrary to the commands of the king. Now, this was the thing that Amalickia desired, which I swear we just said, that he might accomplish his designs in dethroning the king. Now it was the custom among the Lamanites and their chief, if their chief leader was killed, to appoint the second leader to be their chief leader.
Oh, just like the
what a
LD asshole.
sophisticated method. So sophisticated. Wow.
Joseph's literally just sitting there going, what governments do I know about? Oh, vice president. And it came to pass that Amalickia caused that. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I said that. Caused that one of his servants should administer poison by degrees to Lahontai that he died.
By degrees. How do you administer poison by degrees?
A little at a
Kelvin.
time.
Do you like put it in a teapot and then slowly heat it up to like activate? Like, how does it work?
Do you like rotate it?
God
a
damn
little
it.
at a
Now,
time until it builds and builds and builds. We're talking about arsenic here.
I was
Okay.
more thinking like he keeps working on it and then he's like, shit. I think he's immune to it now. Fuck. We're gonna need a new poison. Hey, is he allergic to peanuts? There's no peanuts around here. What am I thinking? However, luckily we have an abundance of honeybees. And it came.
He's
So
not the
our-
one that has the resistance to iocane powder, is it?
No, that's it. Everybody want a peanut? Now, when Lahontai was dead, I muted it with my nose. The Lamanites appointed Amalickiah to be their leader and their chief commander. And it came to pass that Amalickiah marched with his armies, for he had gained his desires to the land of Nephi, to the city
Or
of
is that
Nephi.
in brackets for you guys?
It was.
Yes.
Well, in
Okay.
parentheses, yeah, which
Yeah,
was the
parentheses.
chief city. And no one apparently had a problem with him killing the king, because the fact that I'm writing this shows that everybody pretty much figured it out. No one said anything. Nobody. And the king came out to meet him with his guards, for he supposed that Amalickiah had fulfilled his commands, and that Amalickiah had gathered together to so great an army to go against the Nephites to battle. So you explain to me why you have to bring in an outsider to read. But behold, I thought that was funny because all right, fine. Fuck you too. But behold, as the king came out to meet
I'm
him,
confused.
because I
I
was
missed
being
it.
silly. I can see why somebody would go, this isn't my thing. But behold, as the king came out, as the comments say under every episode I'm in, this isn't my thing. But behold, as the king came out to meet him, Amalickiah caused that his servants should go forth to meet the king. And they went and bowed themselves before the king, bowed themselves right over, as if to reverence him because of his greatness. But why were they facing away? No one knows. And it came to pass that the king put forth his hand to raise them, as was the custom with the Lamanites, as a token of peace, which was the custom they had taken from the Nephites. And it came to what?
Just saying.
And
They stole for the Nephites. Just bastard.
And it came to pass that when he had raised the first from the ground, behold, he stabbed the king to the heart, and he fell to the earth. Now the servants of the king fled, and the servants of Amalickiah raised a cry, saying, behold, the servants of the king have stabbed him to the heart, and he has fallen, and they have fled. Behold, come and see, our security fucking sucks.
Did it say fallen? And he
Yes.
has
Yes.
fell.
Yeah,
Mine
I've
says,
got-
and he has fell.
it was, and he has fallen, and they have fled.
And he
Yeah,
can't
so
get up.
That's
Yeah.
an Appalachianism that was taken out. He has failed.
He has fell and have fled.
And it came to pass. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just saying that, and he fell to the earth, because we have to specify which planet it was.
And it came to pass that Amalickiah commanded that his armies should march forth and see what had happened to the king. And when they had come to the spot and found the king lying in his gore, Amalickiah pretended to be wroth and said, whosoever loved the king, let him go forth and pursue his servants that they may be slain. But you would do it too if you had a name like mine. And it came to pass that all they who loved the king, when they heard these words, came forth and pursued after the servants of the king. Now, when the servants of the king saw an army pursuing after them, they were frightened again and fled into the wilderness. And
They were running so fast that they ran faster.
Yeah, and luckily there was
Would it help
forest
to confuse
nearby.
it if we ran away more?
It was the same forest that kid in Pennsylvania just hid from the authorities for a couple of months. So good forest, just ran on it and came over into the land of Zarahemla and joined the people of Ammon. Remember Ammon?
Bring that guy back.
Ammonites.
There we go.
Ammonites. And the army which pursued after them returned, having pursued after them in vain. And thus Amalickiah, by his fraud, gained the hearts of the people. But I'm writing about this, so again, remember this was a really badly kept secret. And it came to pass on the morrow, he entered the city, Nephi, with his armies, and took possession of the city.
That's it. All right, so we get the very detailed account of him, orchestrating an assassination of the king and usurping the crown. But then it's like, and then he just strolled into the largest city, rival city, the capital city of the Nephites, and he just took possession of it. He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it. We don't get any details on that. All right, never mind.
We use dragons, but we'd just bore you to tell you about that. That'd be too boring.
Dragons and zombies. Loch Ness made an appearance. Chuck Norris was there. It was great.
And now it came to pass that the queen Slay, when she had heard that the king was slain they were both slaying. For Amalekia had sent an embassy to the queen informing her that the king had been slain by his servants, that he had pursued them with his army, but it was in vain, and they had made their escape. They were running fucking fast, guys.
Like ninjas.
Like only a few of our horses would have been able to catch up, but they didn't. Therefore, when the queen had received this message, she said unto Amalekia, desiring him that he would spare the people of the city. And she also desired him that he come in unto her. And she also desired him that
wait.
She
desires that Amalekia come under her.
Look, her husband's dead, but also hadn't really been doing his thing for a while, and she's ready to move on. Your husband's dead. Pff, I'm installing Tinder now. And she also desired him that he should bring witness with him to testify concerning the death of the king. And it came to pass that Amalekia took the same servant that slew the king, and all them who were with him, and went in unto the queen, unto the place where she sat. Wait, I thought they just said they couldn't catch them.
No. So Amalekia's servant was the one who was like bowing to the king, and then when the king was like, it was his custom to like put his hand on and like raise up each of the people who are bowing to him, and then like raised up one of Amalekia's servants, and that's the guy who knifed him. And then all of the king's security detail were like, holy shit, they just killed the king. And they got out of there, right? So, yeah, they were like, she's like, hey, I know that you orchestrated an assassination of my husband. Bring the servant that actually stuck the knife in him.
Got it. I assume I didn't hear that part because like about 30% of the audience, I don't listen when Jimmy's talking. Anyway, and they all testified unto her that the king was slain by his own servants, and they also said they have fled. Does this not testify against them? And thus they satisfied the queen concerning the death of the king. Salacious.
They all satisfied the queen.
She got do not slut shame. That is not what this show is about, okay?
I mean, there's a reason they are called Amalekianites.
So, thank you. And it came to pass that Amalekia sought the favor of the queen and took her unto him to wife. God, I just think tears are hot. And thus by his fraud and by the assistance of his cunning servants, Joseph, you've written coming.
Indeed.
Joseph, you've written coming here. Fine. Make it cunning. Fine. He obtained the kingdom. Yeah, bet. Yay. He was acknowledged king throughout the land among all the people of the Lamanites, who were composed of the Lamanites and the Lemuelites and the Ishmaelites and all the dissenters of the Nephites from the reign of Nephi down to the present time.
All right. That is like pretty much the first appearance that we hear of the Lemuelites. Because the whole book is all about Nephites and Lamanites, but like if we remember the OGs, Nephi, and then he was an OG good guy, and then Laman and Lemuel were the OG bad guys. The Lemuelites supposedly defected from the Lamanites at some point along, and now we have the Lemuelites, another passing mention of them. Checks notes. 9 books later.
The Lemuelites are like, we really got fucked on this. There's nobody advocating for us. We're not pitching tents.
Considering how fast these people reproduce, that they can build massive cities, huge cities, many huge cities all over the place, while also dying by the thousands every year, or not even every year. It's just like every chapter. Then, since these guys went 5 books without a mention, they must own the entire continent of South America by now.
Nah,
Like
just that one county in Missouri. One. They call it Missouri. That's the fucked up part. This book's messed up. Now these dissenters, having the same instruction and the same information of the Nephites, having been instructed in the same knowledge of the Lord, nevertheless, it is strange to relate, not long after their dissensions, they became more hardened and impenitent.
Impenitent.
I was trying to not say impotent, and then it's all I can think of. And more wild, wicked, and ferocious than the Lamanites, drinking in the tradition of the Lamanites, giving way to indolence and all manner of lasciviousness. Yea, they entered the pleasure pod. The pleasure pod, anyone? Yes, I knew Aaron would get it. Yea, entirely forgetting the Lord their God. On the next episode of the Ishmaelites, the Amalickia, his wife finds out. What's her name? No, I was searching for of course she's unnamed. Anyway, on the next episode, she finds out and is totes pissed.
Her name is Queen.
That's right. Queen. Slay, Queen, slay.
Queen.
Majestic P-back offers $5 Canadian and says, this is a surefire cure for Sunday doldrums. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate that. And then Isaac Raskman mentions the Elder Plates 4, Moroni's Wind.
Bro, tight.
I can read chapter 48 if you want.
We have 18
Now, why
minutes.
would I want you to do that?
That means you want. That doesn't just mean that
beg.
you want to read it. 25 verses. It's with 17 minutes left. You like to read it, and for none of us to talk. Which I already knew was what you were doing here, but I think.
Look, I have until October that I'll be be here weekly. So,
bro, don't measure your value and whether you came here or not by word count. That's what Joseph did.
Count words.
Yeah. Tomer, we're gonna wait on this one. We will wait till next week on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally right in the middle of the page, guys.
Do you feel unfinished like the Amalickians and their pitch tents?
I've got Amalickiitis.
That's right.
And it's catching. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. And hopefully regular schedule from now on. We're going to do another Blasphemers Bible on Wednesday. No, I'm sorry,
Isn't it Tuesday?
Yeah, it is Tuesday. We're going to do another one on Tuesday. And then we'll be back to doing the Blasphemers Bible on Saturday and the show on Sunday again. Sorry about the break for a bit anyway. And then I don't have anything. Has anybody else got any closing things to say?
Shannon wanted me to pass along that she says hi and she misses all of y'all listeners and she can't wait to get back.
Hey, Shannon.
I meant to ask about her early on and I got distracted. I apologize.
Yeah. Specifically, she misses the listeners is who the message was for.
Yes.
For the record, I want to make sure everyone heard what Bryce just said. I suppose my final words would be, we came from a Zarahemla bet.
Good night, everyone.